All right. Good morning, Mr. Smiley. Sir, you're charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On August 9th, 2024, officers observed a motorcycle going 120 miles per hour, 65 mile per hour zone.
120.
Yes, Your Honor. The motorcycle had no rear license plate and unauthorized lighting. Officers attempted to conduct a traffic stop, but the defendant drove away and began to evade at a high rate of speed, ultimately getting up to 122 miles per hour. He ran multiple lights and was driving in between vehicles. A police vehicle shadowed behind, and visual was maintained by a helicopter. The total pursuit was 9.96 miles. The defendant then pulled into a gas station. Officers attempted to stop the driver there, but he again pulled away. Eventually, he ended up at a dead end where he dumped the motorcycle and hid in the woods. Officers set up a perimeter, and canines located the defendant. The defendant had an empty firearm holster on his waist. The firearm was in a nearby bush. It was a black Glock Gen 5 9mm. The defendant admitted to throwing it into the bush.
Mr. Smiley, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Can you imagine at 122 miles per hour, if you fall off the bike, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? No more Mr. Smiley, Mr. Frowny. That's what's going to happen. You'll be carnage on the side of the road at 122 miles an hour. You'll be mangled garbage on the side of the road, Mr. Smiley. And all that has to happen is the slightest. I am taking away your privilege to drive. I don't care what is going on in your life. You will be signing an affidavit with me today, promising me you're not going to drive. I don't care what it is, a moped, a motorcycle. If I find that you drive, I will have a contempt hearing. You'll be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. Do you understand? This is an affidavit that you will also promise to me that you're not to be in possession of weapons. One false move, you'll be spending a lot of time with me. And I'm not a fun person to hang out with. Do you understand? What date are the felonies set for? Do you? We are going to put your case for the same day as the felonies that are set for. What do you do for a living, Mr. Smiley? Doing what? So it's a full-time job. Okay. I'm going to have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive, that you're not going to be in possession of weapons, and then you'll be on your way. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with Frederick. If he tells me that he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. I promise you now, there are no more PR bonds for you. Do you understand? I will do everything in my power to protect Harris County. At 120, if you would have hit someone, you would have killed them. And then you're charged with vehicular homicide. Think before you act. Are you Matasia Williams?
Yes, sir.
Miss Williams, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
On October 8th, 2019, officers were dispatched to a one-car accident. The defendant had red, glossy eyes and odor of alcohol on her breath. She admitted to one drink. There were 0 of 6 clues on the HGN because the defendant was crying and kept moving her head. 8 of 8 for the walk-in turn. 4 of 4 for the one-leg stand. A DIC was read, breath was consented to. The result was 0.089 and 0.089. And she had a prior DWI arrest out of Louisiana.
Not only that, but this case is nearly 1,774 days old. Ma'am, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. On one ankle, I'm going to put a GPS monitor so where I know where you are at all times. On your other ankle, I'm ordering you to obtain a SCRAM device so I know that you're not consuming alcohol. If I find that you consume anything, and I'm going to tell you now, I already deem you a flight risk because of how old your case is. You
I
ever
didn't know about it.
take off on me again, I will make your bond $50,000. Do you understand?
Yes, but I didn't know about my case.
You were given a general order bond in 2019. You signed stating that you had to come to court. So
That was my first time in trouble. Like I didn't know anything about none of that.
I have a prior DWI from Louisiana.
I didn't know nothing about that neither.
Perhaps therein lies the problem. But I'm now going to put both monitors on you, and I'm giving you a warning. If you consume anything, if you take off on me again, I'm going to make your bond sky
I take
high.
care of my kids. I stay in Houston. I don't do that. My kids have disability. I don't go anywhere. I don't. That was years ago. I'm not even that type of person anymore. I take care of my kids. I stay home. That's literally what I do. That was when I was partying. I'm not that type of person anymore.
You know how many people tell me that the sky and the moon are black when I come in here?
I mean,
All I know is you have a prior DWI,
Right.
and your case now is 1,700, nearly 1,800 days old. We set cases for trial at 180 days. Your case is 100 days times past that. Do you have an income, Ms. Williams?
No, I mean, I give my daughter a disability. I mean, that's the only income I have because I can't work. I
That's
have to
not
take.
an income. That's for your daughter.
Okay, well, that's the only thing I do because I have to take care of her. She have disabilities.
Will you do a guardian interlock order, please? Do you have a valid Texas driver license, ma'am?
Yes, sir. And I have insurance now on my car.
Can you run her license, please?
I'm trying to get it to go, Your Honor.
I'm also ordering you to obtain a guardian interlock on your car. You're not allowed to drive any vehicle that doesn't have an interlock on it. If you're caught driving a vehicle that doesn't have an interlock, you will go to jail. Do you understand?
What is that?
That is a blow and go that you're going to put on your car before you drive to make sure that you don't have alcohol in your
Yes, sir.
system.
Okay.
Rachel, you can waive all the fees as well. And correct, both of them. Or all three, actually, because a monitor on her car, and then both on her ankle. I will give her a lawyer today and waive all the fees. 3. On notice,
Yes, sir.
one false move, you know what's going to happen. There's absolutely no excuse. I'm paying for everything for you.
Yes, sir.
I'm even giving you a lawyer free. So there's no excuse.
Okay, yes,
I will
sir.
give you one setting to determine what you're going to do on this case. You have one 30-day setting. At that time, you will come back and tell me whether you want to accept the plea bargain offer from the state, or I will set your case for trial. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And I'm telling you again, you blow me off again, that's it. I'm going to set it extremely high.